Ladies, yeah, I just got stuff here to I've been messing around with. I've been making some mixes and stuff like that. I'm doing this video again. Well, okay, let me not say again. I did a video on swaps way back, and I think I need to do another video. And make sure I get it all in one video because there was things I forgot, I left out. You know how when you always do videos, oh, I should have said this, oh, I should have done that, well, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to try to put it all in one video. So, okay, with group swaps, okay, all right, first of all, when they all started with Vianney Lou, okay, way back, and then we brought it to our little nail community after her, okay. Yeah, she started it. Absolutely. She started the group swaps. And then we decided, well, we wanted to do our own group swaps. So we started doing them when we all first started. Well, at least around the time when I started. And whoever else started with me around that time. When we first started doing group swaps, it was 5 mixes, 5 nail art. Pretty much that was it. If you sent extra, that was nice, you know what I mean? But everybody was happy with what they got, okay? That's where it was fun, because if you got, nail art, or, you got nail art that you didn't have, or, of course you got somebody else's mix, which is always nice, you know what I mean? You get to see other people's mixes and, see how they do their mixes, and everybody has their own unique or way of doing their mixes. So it's nice to get other people's mixes. Now, over the years, I know things change, like I said in my one video. We won't go there. Okay. But the fun of group swaps has went right out the window. So for all the new ladies hold group swaps, that you're new to YouTube, maybe, you should really go back and watch some of the older videos where people have done group swaps from the older ladies. I mean, the ladies that have been on here a long time. Those group swaps were always so much fun. There was never really arguing or, oh, I didn't get this and I didn't get that. There wasn't that. It wasn't that at all. And nobody was greedy. Nobody was complaining that they didn't get enough or whatever it was. Okay. Now it's really, people want so much, and I understand not everybody can afford to do group swaps, or you know what I'm saying. So when you do a group swap and you have exactly 5 mixes, 5 nail art, and maybe a little bit of glitter or the package glitter, that's fine. First of all, whoever gets that should be grateful because you didn't have that before. That's something you're getting. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, they should be grateful. And don't be greedy and expect to get all this stuff when you do group swaps or when you're a hostess, okay? When you're a hostess, honestly, really, we've always said it was up to the person that was joining the swap to send you a mix. It was up to that person, okay? Because I've noticed a lot of ladies on here that are hosting, they're saying, okay, 6 mixes. I understand you're hosting, you're putting the work into it, but from when it started, okay, even then, it was a lot of work. But hostesses, all of us never ask for them to send mixes. We always said it was up to the person sending it because maybe somebody has just enough glitter to send to 5 people. So they can't send the hostess something, So that was the whole purpose of it, just like a lot of new ladies starting don't have a lot. So they might have enough mix just for the 5 people that are going to get it. So if you as a hostess don't get a mix from somebody, you can't be upset or angry. You know what I mean? Because first of all, you may get it from somebody else. Somebody else is 9 times out of 10 nowadays, people are sending the hostess a lot of stuff. And that's what I think falls into where a lot of ladies want to host a group swap. They want to get that extra stuff. Okay. And then when they get all this stuff and, they're not doing as good a job on the presentation when they send it out. Honestly, I've seen some of these group subs that these ladies have gotten back and it's, oh my God, So As a hostess, if you want to be a hostess, you can't be expecting people to send you a glitter mix, okay? I'm not saying that they shouldn't. What I'm saying is you can't expect them to, okay? That the whole purpose of a group swap was for one person to take everybody's mixes and swap them out, and that's it. That is what a hostess does. A hostess does not say, okay, since I'm going to swap out your glitters, you got to give me this. No. Okay, that was the whole purpose. It's supposed to be fun. That's why when you were a hostess, it was a lot of work. Okay, it is kind to send the hostess something, absolutely. But you can't, if you can't afford it, maybe you send her something else. Maybe you don't send her a mix. You send her some decorative tape or something that you have extra of. That's nice to do. Okay, if you can't send her a mix, all right, or if you can't send her anything, that's okay too. You know, and as you know, the people getting the swap backs, okay? Now, sometimes where I've done it, okay, I held a polish swap. I had absolutely nothing to do with anybody sending me anything, okay? All I did was say, this is what I'm going to do, ladies. I thought it was a really fun idea to do this. Whoever joined, what I did was I paired them up with somebody, okay? And I did the video so they knew who their pair was, so they contacted them and emailed them, so on and so forth. If they couldn't get in touch with them, they got in touch with me. I would get in touch with the person. That's what I was there for, pretty much to pair people up. And, I also joined myself. I had a partner, so I would be involved in it. Now, I didn't expect anybody to send me anything because, first of all, they're not sending it to me, okay? They're in the polish swap. I paired them up so they would send it directly to that person, okay? So they didn't need to send anything to me. A few ladies did. Absolutely. Was I expecting them to? No. Not everybody sent. There was maybe like a couple ladies that sent me stuff. Was I angry that nobody else sent me anything just because I hosted it? No. Because there's no need, I chose to host a swap. So I'm not expecting anybody to send me anything. Now, if you're a hostess and say you make a mix or whatever and you don't have enough for everybody, okay? That's you people being the people that are receiving it back, okay? The hostess is already doing the job by you getting all your ladies' mixes and swapping them out, okay? Now, like I said, as you, the swapper, you don't have to send her anything, or you do. That's your choice. But if by chance somebody else gets a mix and you don't, you can't be upset because maybe she didn't have enough and she only had enough to send to certain amount of people. Okay, because already she's doing a big job. When she gets all that stuff in, she has to swap it out. She's got to make sure everybody, gets the right amount. Because I'll tell you what, I can't count how many times it's come up uneven on me. Okay, like I said, it's crazy. When you're doing a swap, hosting it, it's a lot of work. A ton of work. Now, I'm not telling you ladies what to do. I'm just giving you the information. Okay, so if you do hold a group swap, you got to take all this into consideration, okay? As the hostess, it's your job to swap it all out. Now, it's your choice. Again, if you choose to send these ladies things, that's your choice. If you don't have enough for anybody, it's understandable. Because like I said, some ladies are still new and they may not have a lot of stuff. So they only make a certain amount of a mix. That's all they have. That's what happened to me with my polish swap. I ended up sending some ladies. I didn't have enough for everybody when I did it. I sent to, a few ladies that, that I had enough for. It was like a handful of ladies that I ended up sending a mix to. And I couldn't send it to everybody at that point, But, I didn't get lashback for it. They emailed me, I explained, and so on and so forth. Like I said, I tried to get to everybody. I couldn't. I didn't have enough. So that's the issue here. Okay, first of all, like I said, again, if you're a hostess, you shouldn't expect to get anything. Okay, as a hostess, you're saying 5 mixes, 5 nail art, 5 glitter, 5 acrylic, whatever. It's gotten crazy, these swaps. It was better when it was just simple: 5 mixes, 5 nail art, or 5 acrylics, 5 nail art, or 5 polishes, 5 nail art, or 5 polishes, 5 mixes, or so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying? It was easier that way. That way, it was up to the person, so that person didn't feel like they had to send the hostess something, because like I said, not everybody has a ton of stuff to send the hostess. So, if you don't get something as being the hostess, you can't be upset. And then vice versa. The hostess is the one saying, okay, I'm willing to take this job on, take your glitters and swap them out for you. Now, that's a job in itself. And anybody who's held a swap can tell you, okay, it's a big job, especially when you have 20 people, 30 people. That's a lot to swap out. I remember my first swap, I think I had 60 to 70 ladies, maybe more. It was crazy. Not everybody got things. I mean, I was like so nuts. It was so much work, and I was doing it by myself. That's a lot of ladies to swap out. I've seen Vianney Lou swaps. She sends that she deals with like 100 or more people, But this is all just stuff for you ladies to think about and to realize if you're joining a swap, okay, you're getting glitter back, you're getting what you put into it is what I'm saying. So if you send her the 5 mixes and 5 nail art, and maybe you do send her a little something, that's nice because she's doing a lot of work, okay? But if by chance you don't get a mix back from the hostess, it's one thing you want to email the person, okay, was it, was there not enough or whatever? And she'll tell you, no, there wasn't enough. I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay, that's fine. But you can't be upset, because like I said, not everybody has a lot. So this is where the problem in swaps are, guys. People don't realize how much work it is to do it. And then when they do it, they're like, and a lot of things have gotten it's gotten really greedy. Like people expect to get a lot back now. If you don't get a lot back, you're like, no. The whole point of a swap is to get somebody else's mix or nail art or whatever the hostess decides to do. Okay, that's the whole point. It's supposed to be fun, and you get to see other people's mixes or how they make their nail art, or if they bought nail art, resin, alloy. It doesn't have to be all alloy. It's nice to get resin pieces too, Not everybody has alloys. That's another thing. Not everybody has alloys. Those are expensive. So if somebody gives you resin pieces, that's not junk. It's still nail art. You still can use it just as you use these alloys, I just get so, because I've had ladies come to me and ask me questions, on swaps still, nothing that's not bad. What I mean is, I didn't clarify it enough in videos, for maybe the people joining a swap or hosting a swap, some ladies are upset and they feel like, well, am I doing something wrong? And, they'll come ask me and I'll tell them, if they are or if they're not, because all us ladies, all this is to have fun, see what the other person's making mix. You're getting their glitter, their, vice versa. So this is just a little bit of information for you ladies that want to host a swap or if you want to join a swap, okay? That's all this is, So if you want to join a swap, okay, all you have to do is when you watch that first video, that hostess's video, she'll tell you what the theme is. There's always a theme. How many mixes that you need to send, how many nail art, or if there is any, or however they're going to do it. They may ask for acrylic. Now, if you can't do acrylic, then you just don't join that swap. You move on to another swap or whatever. You get what I'm saying. And for you, if you choose to hold the swap, you need to be prepared to know that there's a lot of work involved. And you know, make sure things are done properly. Like I said before, you know, however the lady puts that mix glitter and nail art, however she packages it, that little one should go, when you go to swap it out, it should be exactly the way that she's packed it. So if I put a little goodie bag with my mix and some glitters and spangles, that exact goodie bag, the way I put it, should go to that swap wherever it goes. You understand? So this is just a little info for you ladies, because a lot of ladies, I know I'm not no expert in any of this, okay? I've just been around a long time, like some of these ladies have, and it, you know, I see so much going on and I hear so much going on that it's making it, I think a lot of ladies are making it more difficult for themselves. You know what I mean? Like if you're holding one swap, okay, and then that swap is almost over, but you're not done sending them out, and then you start another swap, that's crazy. Because if you don't have all your previous swap out, but yet you're starting a new one, that's not good. You know, you're just giving yourself crazy amount of work. And not only that, but the ladies that are still receiving the swap that you had prior are upset because now they haven't received their swap back, but yet you're starting a new swap, you know? So just to give you a little heads up for all the new ladies that haven't joined swaps before, it's fun to join swaps. But let me give you some advice. If you're joining a swap and you want to start off just simple, start off with some ladies that have been doing swaps for years, okay? Like Maenaildesigns, Rosita, wait. Oh my gosh, I can't think of names right at the moment. But there's ladies on here that have been doing swaps for years, okay? Years. Those are the swaps you want to join, all right? Especially Maenaildesigns. She's been doing them for a while, and she is good to join, okay? If you ever get a chance to join her swaps, go join them. She's simple. She keeps it simple. She's very good at what she does, okay? She's very good at swaps, all right? She doesn't make it difficult. But she has a limit. 90% of the time, she has a limit on who can join. So if you get a chance, go over, subscribe to Maenaildesigns, and watch out for her swaps, because she has good swaps, okay? That's a little info. You want, if you're, like I said, if you're first starting out, start off with somebody that's been doing them for years, okay? Because that way, you know you're going to get your swap back, and they're pretty much simple, okay? They explain everything to you. They show you the video, what you need, and they keep it simple. 5 mixes, 5 nail art, okay? That's like Maenaildesigns does, okay? Keep it simple. Join no swaps first. Then if you want to get into, you know, other swaps that ladies are holding, you got to just watch videos to see who you want to join, okay? You got to be very cautious whose swap you join nowadays, because a lot of ladies sometimes do it for the wrong reasons. Like I said, some ladies do it to get the gifts, and then, you know, they kind of slag off when it's time to do the swap back, to return them, you know. So just keep an eye out for you ladies. Do the ladies that have been doing it for years. That's the best way to go if you haven't joined one yet, okay? Now, I'm sorry I babbled on long enough, and I wanted to get this out there for all the new ladies that still quite don't understand how the swap works, or how to go about joining a swap, or, you know, if you're not sure, if you're hosting swaps and you're still not sure, you know what I'm saying? This is a good video. Now, like I said, I can't really get into detail because whatever the hostess chooses, like I've said, okay? So if that hostess chooses to do acrylic, then that's what you got to send. You know what I'm saying? And then there's always a theme, like butterfly swap or cartoon swap, Looney Tune swap, whatever it is. The only way to clarify something like that is to actually, you know, do a whole example of it. And now your best bet, if you want to join, go look at some of Maenaildesigns' past swaps that she's done. Her very first swap video that she's ever done for each swap, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But on that note, ladies, I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.